Hey Kellen, welcome to the Sport International Hockey Academy, where today we're going to be talking about stance, angles, and movements. Let's take a look at that stance first of all. Fantastic job of having your shoulders square and your head up. I like to see that. Your glove is completely vertical here, so what we want to do is rotate that out to the side just a touch. Get that palm right about, or excuse me, the web right about over there, covering up as much room as possible. Huge gap here under the elbow, so what we want to do is tuck that elbow in. We're just going to bring the blocker closer to the pad, bring that stick directly in front of the 5-hole as well. Good overlap on the top, but the one thing I notice here when you turn, we'll be able to see it a little bit better, is your upper body is leaning over the top of your pads like this. So that's what your upper body looks like. And your legs are down here. So make sure we get in a sitting in a chair position, squatting down as low as we can, really bending those knees. What that's going to do is it's going to keep the back a little bit straighter while keeping that same amount of overlap. Introduce you to our pro goaltender here. This is Scott Grenham with the Ottawa Senators, and as you can see, really overlapping the top of those pads, back straight up. Glove you can kind of see is out to the side just a little bit more, and that blocker is a little bit more tucked in, covering that elbow gap. When we take a look at your turn here, we can see that, see what I'm talking about? Your back is up right here, and your legs are down like this. What we want to see is you get into a sitting in a chair position. So if we draw this chair behind you just like this, you want to be down looking like you're sitting in it, really bending those knees. And what that's going to allow you to do is be in the attack position, really opens up your hips, and you're able to use your hip muscles as well as your legs to really push across the crease. The other thing is as well, they're a little bit further out, which is good, but let's make sure we're pushing these hands out just a touch further. What that does, it takes away room from the shooter. It also lets us absorb impact. So goaltending is all about either absorbing and redirecting or catching. So you got to make sure we're absorbing impact and either redirecting that puck or catching it. Turning once again, fantastic job of keeping everything together. Blocker stays in good position, stick stays right in front of the 5-hole, and once again with this glove position, the only thing I don't want to be able to see on your glove is your cuff. So right there where it says CCM is the only part of your glove that I shouldn't see, because that should be behind your arm. Everything else I should be able to see off here to the side if it's in correct position. Turning once again, let's just make sure we're getting in that sitting in a chair position that we talked about. We'll take a look at your challenge here, coming all the way out. So nice job on that stop. Way to keep the shoulders square to me. Gloves in great position, and you stopped on your preferred foot, which is your left foot. We'll take a look at your cut backwards here. So on that cut backwards, see how you take one C cut and then another C cut? What that does is it opens you up, and obviously nobody's going to be shooting right after you stop because they'd be far enough away. But let's make sure that if you have to take that second C cut, it's got to be a good hard one. We really want one C cut, just like Coach Grenham's doing here, and just like I did yesterday, stopping on that one foot, getting your hips in good position, getting in that sitting in a chair position, rotating that hip back around and gliding back into the crease. Take a look at your shuffles here, going to our left first. Great job on those shuffles. When you come back across, we'll pause one right in the middle. So right here on your back leg extension, it's very good, but the lower you get, the more back leg extension you're going to get, and it should look just like this with Coach Grenham. As you can see, he's incredibly low, flying across that crease, digging that back leg into the ice, and it's really propelling him across the crease, and the only way you're going to be able to do that is in that sitting in a chair position. Coming across once again, a way to keep everything together as well. The hands stay perfectly stationary, which is awesome. You're going to come out to the top, and we'll take a look. You follow me around. A little bit of a rut there. That's all right. So great job timing your shuffles. The one thing that I noticed right about here, though, if we back it up, is you rotate your shoulders in just a little early, like you're already going to that post. If I'm a shooter and I have the puck right here, that opens up a lot on that side, right? Make sure you're not rotating your shoulders too early, staying completely square, then getting right to that post. On your seal-off, fantastic job with your blocker positioning. Stick is out in front of the 5-hole, but make sure you keep that glove up. When that glove's pointed down at the ice, obviously it'd be rare for somebody to shoot a puck across like that, but make sure you're keeping that glove up just in case that happens. It's coming all the way back around the top. Make sure you're coming out just a little bit further to the top of that crease, right? Giving up a little bit of net here. The other thing is we're right in the middle now, and you're giving up just a little bit more net on your left side than you are on your right side. Make sure you're trying to stay as equidistant as possible. Coming all the way around here back to this other post. And right here on that post, rotate that glove around so we cover that little bit of gap, right? You're pushing yourself into the net further, which is going to be hard to push out and make that stop if there's somebody standing right about where I'm standing. Rotate that pad across, flip the glove over to cover that gap, then you're ready to push across, already in a good position if you need to get across the crease there. You're going to come out here, we'll take a look at your stance one more time. So right here in your stance, once again, fantastic job keeping your shoulders square and your head up. Let's rotate that glove out to the side like we talked about earlier. Good overlap on the pads, but if we get in that sitting in a chair position, it's going to keep that back just a little bit more straight. Blocker right here, we can tuck that in just a little bit more even, right? There's less gap than there was before. Tuck it in just a little bit. Stick is in good position in front of the 5-hole. Kellen, fantastic job today. You should be very proud of all the work that you put in, and I look forward to seeing you on the ice tomorrow, all right? Thanks, Colin.